Hello, in this lesson we are going to be going over adding and subtracting fractions. Okay, something that's really important when we're adding and subtracting fractions is that we need to remember we always have to have common denominators. Okay, and it's going to go best for us if we always find the least common denominator. So that's the lowest number that both or all of the denominators can go into. Okay. We also have here one of these, a mental math or an algebra problem that's going to just kind of challenge your thinking a little bit. Okay, so here we go. We have number 1 where it says 5/6 plus 4/6. Well, these have common denominators, so we are in good shape to do our addition. Okay, so what we simply do is 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9, and then we get that over 6. We don't add the denominators. We don't say 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay? We keep the denominators the same. From there we need to say, okay, well this can be simplified. Okay? Because 6 goes into 9 one time, one whole time, and then that's going to leave a remainder of 3. Okay? We're going to get 3/6. And then 3/6, that one we should know, well, that can be simplified. That can be simplified by dividing it by 3 over 3, right? So that would be equivalent to 1/2, right? 3 is half of 6. For number 2, we again see in this problem that they have common denominators, 1/3 plus 1/3. Okay, well, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then the denominators stay the same. So that's an easy problem. Number 3, we see that in this case we have denominators that are not alike. So let's look at how we could change this. We need to find the least common denominator. Okay, we need to find the least common denominator, and the LCM of the number 7 and 4, right? LCM meaning least common multiple. That's going to be 21. Okay, so we need to say, how am I going to get these to 21? So they're both going to be 21. It's going to be minus 21. We just need to find out what's in our numerators. Okay, well, what did I do to 7 to get it to 21? I multiplied 7 by 3. If I multiplied 7 by 3, I have to multiply the numerator by 3 also. So it's 3 times 3. That will get me 9. What did I multiply 3 by to get me to 21? I multiplied 3 by 7, which means I need to do the same thing to the numerator. Okay, so 1 times 7 is 7. Then from there I say, well, my numerator is going to be 9 minus 7, which is 2, and 21 remains my denominator. Can it be simplified? It cannot. 2 and 21 do not have any common multiples, or common factors, sorry. For 4, this is a problem where we have 3 fractions, okay? So can I get all these 3 fractions to have common denominators? Well, the answer is, well, 3, 5, and 15, they're going to have a common denominator. 3 times 5 will go into 15, and 5 times 3 will go into 15. So my common denominator is going to be 15 for all 3 problems, right? For all 3 fractions. And I'm going to look and I'm going to say, okay, well, what did I do to that 3 to get it to 15? I said 3 times 5 is 15. So I have to multiply 1 by 5 also, getting me to 5 over 15. For this next one, I have 5 as my denominator to start. What did I have to do to it to get it to 15? Well, I multiplied 5 by 3, of course. So if I multiplied 5 by 3, I have to multiply 2 by 3. That gets me 6. And then looking here, well, 7/15ths, these should be the same, right? Because I didn't do anything to that. So, from there I say, well, I just simply add the numerators. I get 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 7, that's 18. 18 over 15. Well, how many times does 15 go into 18? Well, it should go in once. And then we would have 3 as our remainder, getting us 1 and 3/15. Okay? And then that has a common factor. So 3 can go into both of those, and that's going to simplify our final answer to 1 and 1/5. For number 5. For number 5, this one is it's a mental problem for you in this chapter. It'll become easier as you learn about algebraic equations, because that's my first instinct, is to solve this algebraically. But let's look at a way we can do it mentally, right? Very simply, it could be said, all right, what plus 1/3 equals the number 1? Okay? What plus 1/3 equals the number 1? Okay? And well, I'd say, well, the number 1 is equal to 3/3, isn't it? So I could say, what plus 1/3 equals 3/3, right? 1 is 3/3. 3 divided by 3 is the number 1. Well, that should be pretty easy then, because I would say 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3, right? 2 plus 1 is 3, and the denominators stay the same. Now, as you're getting better at algebra, or if you're already familiar with it, you could say, well, I'm going to replace that question mark with a variable. So I'm going to add in an x. I'm going to say 1/3 equals 1, okay? And then we would do an inverse operation. So we'd say subtract 1/3 from both sides, right? Because we're trying to isolate that unknown, that question mark, or once I've changed it to the variable x. Remember, 1 could be written as 3/3, 3/3. So 3/3 minus 1/3, well, that's 2/3. So we would find that x equals 2/3. So there's different mental strategies, right? You can talk it out, what plus 1/3 equals 1, right? Recognizing that 1 equals 3/3. There's lots of different strategies you could use, okay? So I hope these examples will help you. Good luck on your lesson.